Yo guys, I'm HP, this is Dr. Pink, and today's topic is Night and Day by Cole Porter, some jazz guitar. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, and also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you the melody, the chords which fit to the tune and the melody, and give you some really useful information for the improvisation, which is quite tricky. So I'm first going to play the melody, and I have to do sight reading. So I've written it out here for you guys. So I want to really play it the way it's written in the real book, but I come back to like a more freely way of playing it in a second. And so I'm going to show you the full melody on the close view. It's really simple to play, and the rhythm is also quite simple. As I already said, I just played it now the way it is written in the real book, but I'm a fan of, you know, having a more freely approach to playing jazz standards. Even some people out there think you have to play it exactly the way it's written. However, I'm going to show you the version how it is written, plus also give you some inspiration to play it more freely, you know, to give it a more individual touch. I mean, if you're playing in a jazz orchestra, of course, you have to play it as written, but if you're the only melody, then of course you can do it more freely. So let's get started. Good. I start the melody here. We're on the key of C major. But you know, we are changing modes from time to time, also even the key in the B section, so it's not really in one position. So I've chosen this position here, which I find really good, also to start with octaves afterwards. So the melody goes like this. So I'm just gonna play it with the backing track, and you guys just can follow. So I just go down. Just go down. Yeah, well, you see, I'm just going to play it now, and just play it through. It's not much to explain, and you check as it's written to see the rhythm. One thing is a bit special. You have this rhythm motif with these quarter triplets in bar 2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I just missed the first note, but however, that you can see, you know, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, da, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So this rhythm motif repeats itself all the time. So that's what the first part. Now comes the second part. Now comes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 1. That's the whole first part. It's quite simple. Second part is a little bit tricky. I'm gonna play with the backing track. So. repeats itself. And now comes the B section. Let me quickly set a marker on the backing track. B section, now we're changing the key. The A section was pretty much all the same. So now we have, and now the motif, the rhythm motif repeats itself. But we changed the key now to E flat. And then comes, so that's basically the B section. Then the second part of the A section comes again. The same thing as before. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 1. And now comes something different. 1, 2, 3. So the one little motif repeats itself all the time. Now let's play with the backing track. Then that was the whole thing. What you can do, you know, when you play it, you know, because the theme is quite long-lasting. If you just play it like this, what you can do is spice it up with you play it once just single note, and then you play with octaves, or you play the B section with octaves. I'm going to show you quickly, or you can make slight modifications on the melody, give it a little bit pep. So I'm going to play it now through freely, or hopefully more freely, and then just to give you some inspiration. You know, when it comes to jazz, there are not, at least in my view, there are not so many rules. Jazz tutorials are mostly thought to be an inspiration for your own ideas or your own interpretations, you know. So I cannot say you have to do it like this or like this. I'm just going to show you a few ideas how you can do it. But of course, if you don't like it, just do it another way. So, 1, 2. Now you spice it up. B section. You see, in this way you can make a theme sound more interesting, you know, when you have it really long lasting, as this one is. It's really long. Good. Now let's check out the chords. The chords should support the melody, or at least not take the top note of the chord above the melody. So that's the basic rule when you take chords if you want to make a professional rhythm guitar in jazz or in any genre. You just don't take you don't take the chords over the melody. So in this case we have a D minor 7 flat 5 at the beginning. So we take the top note of the melody in the chord. And when then goes to D7, there I choose D7 B9 or D B9. And again, we don't want to go above the melody, so we have instead of a G like this, I take a G B9, sounds more jazzy. Here, 6, 4, 3, 3. 2, C major 7, the regular one here. 3, 5, 5, 4. So you can hear the melody when you just play the chords. And now we have this with F sharp minor 7 flat 5. Top note is E, so we choose this one here. Now the bass note is missing. If you want, you can take the bass note, but that's really hard. You don't have to, because we have a bass player. I play bass. I also play piano on this backing track. For those who don't know it, I'm originally a jazz piano player. I started my music career in piano jazz bars, playing piano all night. So that's why. Anyhow. So F sharp minor 7 flat 5 will be like this. Then F minor 7, and we're following the melody with the chord. To F minor 7, to E minor 7, just move this down, to E flat diminished. That is a bit hard to grab, but it's no problem. 4, 2, 1. Then D minor 7, same as E minor 7 before, to G7, but we should not go above the note of the melody, which is this one here. Unfortunately, so we have to take this one here. I don't like this chord, but there's no other solution to do this in a nice way. So we have back to the C major 7. You heard the melody here when you just play the chords, so it's really cool. The B section gets introduced. You play this twice, and then when you go to the B section with the E flat major 7, you have the B7, which leads to the. In this case, I choose this one here, C major 7 over B7 sharp 11, leads perfectly to E flat major 7. You choose the same as on the C, but you take the B flat as top note, or you just play the G here. So you, as I said, stay below the melody or sync with the melody. That's the way you make chords. Okay, so you have, so the B section was introduced like this. And then the same thing comes again as before. I'm going to play now the backing track that you hear the entire thing. It's really cool. Oopsie. Where's the beginning? 1, 2, 3, 4. once again. Going to be section. And the final round. Yo. Good. Now let's check out what we can do on improvisation. As I said, that tune is quite tricky, and I already mentioned I started my career as jazz pianist in jazz bars, and Night and Day was a thing which was, the audience loved that tune, but the improvisations always gave me a headache because I never knew what exactly I should do on this. And I found, well, the first part is quite easy. You have D minor 7, flat 5 to G7, leading to C major 7. So here we have a 2-5 in C minor. Is a regular 2-5 to C in C minor, but we have a C major here. So we have a 2-5 in C minor, meaning on the D minor 7 flat 5 we play D Locrian. On the G7 we can take the regular one in a minor progression. That will be Phrygian natural 3, this one here. That's the regular one in a normal 2-5 in minor, but honestly I never liked that so much. That one doesn't fit to the tune. So, but if you take altered, G altered, you give credit to that is a 2-5 in minor, but don't go for the minor thing. So you make G altered. That will be this one here. Oopsie. So G altered, and on C, of course, since the tune somehow is in C major, you can play C major, Ionian. Or if you want to be special, since we are really mixing up major, minor, and all the modes, you can also choose to play Lydian. I normally would play Lydian in the improvisation. So you replace the fourth note, the 4, with a sharp 4. But the regular would be Ionian. Good. Now comes this terrible part, which F sharp minor 7 flat 5 to F minor 7 to E minor 7 to E flat diminish to D minor 7 to G7 to C major 7. Somehow, when you have chords which are not in the key, then you select normally you select the mode which has as most common notes as possible to the original key, which is C. So on the F sharp minor 7 flat 5, obvious we have Locrian here, and this just one note different from C major 7. And by the way, the F sharp, that's why I've chosen Lydian for the C major 7. F sharp is the one note which is different from the regular C major mode, and this would create a C Lydian mode. And so, as I said, you always try to connect the dots and that you know get a full thing. So here just play a regular Locrian. Play it here. Which is basically the same notes as C Lydian. So you have the connection here. On the F minor 7, this is not a common chord as well in C major 7, in C major, and here you could do F melodic minor, but honestly I interpret this whole progression just as moving down the chord, you know. So to D minor 7, the D minor 7 is of course Dorian, so the whole thing would be Dorian. So we have the the F minor 7 will be F Dorian, to E minor 7 E Dorian, to, as if it wouldn't be complicated enough, here we have an E flat diminished. On diminished, I often just play the diminished arpeggio. Or what you also can do, you play half tone, full tone scale. What is that? You start with a half tone, then a full tone, then a half tone. So always you make half tone to the full tone to the next, half tone to the next, full tone to the next, half tone to the next, full tone to the next, half tone to the next, full tone. I like this one. It's you can take this or the arpeggio. Good. So that will be the A on D minor, of course, Dorian, and on the G, I would already said I would take altered. Good. The B section gets introduced with the B7 sharp 11, and there we play Lydian flat 7. I love this mode. And then it leads to E flat major 7. And here again we have the connection of the tune. E flat major is the parallel major tune of C minor. So there's the connection. That's why I can move to E flat. Okay? But the hint is, or the wow effect is that the C is not played as a minor, it's played as a major, and in this case you would call this modal interchange. As I said, the tune is a bit, looks simple, sounds simple, but has a lot of meat on it, which you can talk about. So I would then, of course, in this case, we play here Ionian. And on the C, I already said, to make it a little some bit special, I would prefer Lydian. And then we're basically finished, because then the second part comes again. So let's do this in the practical use. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to play a little bit to see how this whole thing works. Just give you an inspiration. And yeah. Yeah, I just was noodling around. As I said, this tune is quite tricky to play. It sounds so easy, but this part here with the F sharp minus 7, flat 5, down F minus 7, E minus 7, E flat diminished is quite tricky. Also the first part somehow, you know, to make it sound smooth and nice. And what you can do also as an improvisation trick, keep it simple, noodle around the melody, and start using octaves, and then you always sound smooth. Just won't play again the full form, just give you a little hint what you also can do. And so on. What you also can do, you can play, if you want to make it sound bluesy, you can play bluesy on the first part on the D minor 7 flat 5 on G7 to C major. That's also cool. I'm quickly going to give you an example. Also the second part. Yeah, probably it's better on the second part, but that's also a way to get through this tune. Yo, I think that's enough tips for today. Yo guys, that was Night and Day by Cole Porter. As I already said, making tutorials about jazz is quite a challenge because, you know, from my point of view, at the end of your journey in jazz, you come to the point where you say there are no rules at all. You can play whatever you want, or when you know the rules, forget all the rules and then you play what you want. That's my point of view when it comes to jazz. But still you need to have some inspiration, some ideas, and you also need to understand the whole theory behind a tune, and each tune has its own story, you know. Night and Day, as I already mentioned, I played it many times in bars. It was very popular with the audience, but hard to improvise because somehow I found it's quite good to keep it groovy, you know, that the audience can go for it. And yeah. But anyhow, I was talking a lot. I wrote down most of the stuff I was talking about. Melody, chords, and the modes. It's available in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy, plus this cool backing track where I play piano and bass. And if you have any questions on this complex thing, please join there and open a blog, and there you can pose your questions, and there I can help you in detail and give you additional tips. As I said, jazz is really something. There's no way to make a general topic tutorial. You just can make a spotlight on a certain theme and say, okay, you can do it this way, but also you could also do it this way, you know what I mean. So that's what all me and Dr. Pink are having to say for today. See you guys, and please join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy.